a hit. I got a hit.
Yeah. Stuff's lighting up on my shit.
Yeah, and I got a
I'm just coming to stand by.
Stand by, everybody. We're on our way. But now I don't. Is there a standby thing? My screen's black here.
No, mine says it says standby over here.
Oh, somebody has standby?
Yeah, and it says live.
Yeah, it's on here. It's definitely there. What's that?
Oh.
It's playing an ad.
Oh, I heard myself.
Yeah.
All right.
Zero watching though.
78 watching, it says.
I have 50 on mine.
It's all the. Oh, okay.
Looks like we're good.
Alright, that should be good.
Just trying to figure things out, guys. Hold on.
Let's go.
All right, Dan, whenever you're ready. Yep.
I see nothing.
No, it should be fine. Who knows if it's working or not?
I think we're live.
I can't tell, but this is pissing me off. I'll tell you that much. What else do you want me to say? We're trying to go live on YouTube, but YouTube's being a little bitch about it on how to make it work. Nobody really knows what's going on how it's working, if it is even working. The whole point was to go live at 12:30 by hitting a button and going live to a event that we created, and I can't tell. So, you want to look on my computer?
Should be fine.
I can see it.
Yeah,
you can
I
see
can
it?
see it on my
Yeah, that's
on
what
my
you were saying.
phone. Yeah, I can see it on my phone.
It wasn't working. So I guess it's working. Frustratingly working.
It's great.
What's
Yeah.
great?
Trial and
Love
error.
technology. Yeah. Just got to figure it out.
You try to make the damn things work to do the live RAWtalk to make it easier on everything, and the YouTube software still sucks. I had people asking me about YouTube Live recently and how it's working and if it's any good, and it's great once it's streaming, but trying to get everything working doesn't make any sense.
Todd, I bet you it's a dead battery on there because it's been on for like 3 hours straight.
So anyway, let me do an intro.
You can do an intro.
Go ahead.
Jared Polin, FROKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to RAWtalk episode number 230 with technical fucking difficulties going to YouTube.
Whoa,
We're changing batteries for Todd. This isn't how it's supposed to work, but this is what's actually happening. And so the Atomos just reset. Oh, this Atomos just reset. This one just blinked off.
You're fine.
So is it live or is it not live is really the question, because
It's most certainly live. I see it all.
we're not exactly checking the feed. So you see it on your phone, Todd?
Yeah, definitely.
Great. What do the comments say? Because I'm sure they're amazing right now.
They said Jared's super angry. Oh, well, Paul says Frono's mad,
Yeah.
which is accurate. Let's see what else. This is not that bad. It's not that bad, bro.
So the point is,
All right, we're good.
It's
Everything's
nice
cool.
and kind. It's very, people are trying to be very nice,
All right, Todd.
supportive of you.
Let's go. The point is that this is supposed to run smoothly. The whole idea is that we have RAWtalk go live. Then we don't have to do anything because it's already live once it's over and you guys can watch it. So thank you for bearing with us. And I
Yeah.
guess we'll still put the audio up. How are you going to put the audio up? You're just going to grab the audio and put it up?
Yeah, we just got to work out some bugs, and the audio I'm just going to take and probably compress later for the podcast version of the podcast on iTunes.
So I've done my intro. Now let's talk about the main. So how this is going to work. I'm also curious for you guys to leave comments. Hopefully we can read the comments later, unlike last week when the comments disappeared.
Yeah,
or
we'll see.
2 weeks ago when we did the show, or 3 weeks, or whoever.
Because this will be the
whenever
first
that
time we're
was.
actually keeping it up live on YouTube.
Because we want to see the comments because I want to interact with you guys after the fact. We ask you questions like, what do you want to see in RAWtalk? What's your favorite parts? Do you like the news? Do you like the discussions? Do you like the comedy? Do you like
Memes
the
of the week?
What do you like?
Not
and
Todd.
so
Definitely Todd.
Nope.
Definitely.
So the idea here is that if we can get this to work and we can get it to work well, then we can go live possibly on Fridays now. And that means that it's up there on Friday. You'll still have your audio to download for Monday if you want to have that for just the regular podcast style. And the idea is still to bring more news back into it. We have the Photo News Fix extra going. Sorry, the Photo News Fix part is going.
Yep.
I haven't been doing the extras. I don't know if I'll get back to doing it or not. The idea is to hopefully talk about the stories here, but maybe I should just say fuck it and I'll do them because I'll give my opinion on the photo news a little more. But the biggest news of the week, and I put up the headline. What was the title? Adobe
Lightroom is dead.
Adobe Lightroom is dead?
Question mark,
Exclamation point. Which
So is that like Adobe is dead?
no,
Like something weird like
Adobe
that?
Lightroom exclamation point question mark is a question.
But
The
you're
point
yelling
is
it.
that you're supposed to watch it to figure out what the answer is to whether or not it's dead or it isn't.
Yeah.
And it's not clickbait. And I'll just acknowledge the fact right there. It's called a headline like 1500 Titanic sinks, 1,500 dead. That's called a headline.
That's called fake news.
And
That
you wanna
did
go ahead
not
and read
happen.
more.
That
Didn't
did
happen.
not
Definitely didn't
And
happen.
so
That
the reason
did
you put
not
the
happen.
question mark in there is because it's question mark. It's an open-ended thing. And then I acknowledge in the first couple seconds of the video that Lightroom isn't dead in the it's only dead in the way that we know it's in the way that we've been using it.
Yeah.
Because they changed it. So what Adobe has gone ahead and done is that they've taken Adobe Lightroom, the way that we've been using it. Why does my freaking thing keep
This is the Jared is mad episode.
I just got to the phone is pissing me off. It just keeps vibrating.
Yeah.
So Adobe has gone ahead and made Lightroom, which is what we've been using, and renamed it Adobe Lightroom Classic. Classic being it's the classic version of Lightroom, meaning it's what's been out for a decade, but with changes. And I can
Classic
say
Lightroom.
what?
Classic Lightroom.
But I can say from the
Classic.
changes from using it, that's how I've been editing my D850 RAW files, using the beta version and now using the full version, and it is so much faster than the older version of Lightroom. Quicker to change from the develop to library. Quicker to ingest the images, right?
Yep. There's now a new embedded in sidecar import setting.
They didn't make a lot of additions and changes to features. They just made it open a hell of a lot quicker. It doesn't take forever to load. It doesn't take forever to get from library to
Module.
develop.
Yeah. I still wish they combined the two modules and you never really had to switch out of develop into library or vice versa. There's also the new adjustment brush,
Yeah, to select color.
which is pretty nice. I won't personally use it that much, but I know a lot of photographers will.
Yeah, I don't know. But then they went ahead and changed what, Dan?
You good, Dan?
All's well.
Yeah, please don't
All's
make
well.
like noises like something's going wrong. Because then
Everything's good.
we question whether something's wrong or not. So they've also gone and changed. So now Lightroom, it's confusing.
It is.
Because the way
I
that we're
agree.
doing this and me being pissed off about the show starting the way it started is frustrating. Adobe Lightroom CC is now called Adobe Classic. Adobe Lightroom CC is now a new program altogether that is a lighter version that is available as a download on your computer. It's also available mobilely, and it's available on the web. And the main point there is that you can upload your files, your RAW files or JPEGs, to the cloud and have access to them, and any change that you do on one is going to sync to the other.
I do like that option.
Well, that option's fine. Like, I get it. Should we go over pricing or just rip on it first?
I think we should talk about it first, yeah. I don't like the naming scheme.
Well, the naming scheme's confusing. You could have
Very
left
confusing.
it Adobe Lightroom and Adobe Lightroom Speedy.
Well, yeah, it should have been Lightroom and then Lightroom CC, but what they messed up on, I think, is a year or two ago when the Creative Cloud subscription happened, they changed Lightroom to Lightroom CC.
Well, it is still because it's part of the Creative Cloud. It still has functions.
But now they're calling the new app Lightroom CC and the old one Classic. That's where it gets really confusing.
Well, it's actually Lightroom CCC because it's Classic
I like
CC.
that. CCC.
CCC, yeah.
And then if you add a D, you get those
CCC.
Christians who go to CCD, whatever the hell CCD was. Continued Christian. What does it stand for, Dan? You know this stuff because you're something. I don't know what it stands for. Guys, what does CCD stand for? Oh, there's only 2 C's.
Yeah, CCD.
I thought it was Continuing Catholic Discovery.
Right now,
Are you making
we're
that up?
basically watching Jared's OCD and ADD right now.
Yeah, funny. So, yes, it's confusing as hell. So, but anyway, using the new CC, Lightroom CC, which is the version for the web, the version for your phone, and the version for your computer, it's just like a
Streamlined.
visually flat-looking version of Lightroom with a lot of the same features, but it's more amateurish.
It's a light version of Lightroom.
Basically,
essentially.
it is light and it's fast. It works. It does it. So what you do? Let's go over the plans real quick because that can lead us to discussing this better. If you have the Lightroom bundle, the one where you're paying $9.99 for Lightroom Classic and Adobe Photoshop, you automatically get 20 gigs worth of storage up in the cloud, which is I think what you already had. I think you had that to begin with for $9.99.
Yeah.
If you want to just do Adobe Lightroom, which is the new light bullshit, so frustrating, the one that's up on the screen right now, then that version is $9.99. So it's $9.99 and you get a terabyte of storage in the cloud. But that means you don't get Classic. You don't get the old file structure hierarchy that you've been used to using. And if you want it all, it's $19.99 for Lightroom Classic, Lightroom,
Yep.
and
Photoshop.
Photoshop
And
with
then
a terabyte.
With a terabyte, yeah. I mean, that's not a bad plan.
It's not a bad plan, but
if you are going to use it.
if you use the full-out plan, you already get a terabyte.
Yep.
That's the $49.99
The whole
version.
Adobe suite.
For me, I'm going to stick with the 20 gigabyte version because I can't see uploading my stuff to the cloud and having the need to have it all sync from phone to this to that when I'm doing editing. That's not how my workflow works. If I need to access something from the road, we have servers, which not everybody has access to, or a NAS server where you can get stuff from. On the other side, I can see if you have a terabyte and you upload your most important RAW files and you need to access them at some point because from any time, I guess that's okay.
The best of the best. You know?
I wouldn't just leave everything in the cloud and have no backups anywhere else. Of course, that doesn't make any sense.
What I do like about the new Lightroom CC is that you have that gallery link option, which you can send to clients, and any edit you do on the back end will automatically sync in the cloud, show up on that gallery page, and
Is
it
it
will
in
always be
sync?
the most current updated picture.
That's
and
nice.
edit. Yeah, that's really nice in my opinion. Now, I've never really made smart previews and edited in, say, Lightroom Mobile or
Maybe this
on
is,
the fly.
This
It's always been desktop
renders
for me.
smart previews obsolete because it automatically does it.
Yeah, I still don't personally fully understand the workflow for Lightroom CC.
Well,
so
Here's
I can't
how
really comment on it.
Here's how I would guess how it works. You upload your stuff to the cloud, which is not something that you're going to do if you need to edit something quickly. You're going to do it off of your computer because you want to edit quickly. But theoretically, or let's just hypothetically say, you're going to throw it into the cloud and you're going to edit it later. You're not downloading, say, a 100 megabyte D850 RAW file to edit. You're not going to be on your phone downloading that. You're going to have what looks to be your RAW file, and all the changes you make are
smart
still
preview.
going to show up. Right. It's like a smart preview. It's
And
light.
then it will sync.
It has nothing, and then it syncs. And then if you hit export and save, it's going to take the RAW file. It's going to do it on the back end. I'm assuming it's going to create the separate file and then allow you to download that.
And Adobe, in their blog update about this whole, 3 new apps, or 2 new apps, they did mention that if you do have low bandwidth, like if you're in Australia or something and your internet connection is just terrible, they still do recommend obviously using Lightroom Classic, the desktop version, because it will struggle if you're trying to use Lightroom CC and constantly be uploading.
I just don't know why they didn't have a button inside of Lightroom Classic that allows you to do this CC.
It should just be a simple button like send to Lightroom CC, make that whatever magic happen in the background, and boom, it's on Lightroom CC.
Because what I don't want to have happen is that they're going to do away with Lightroom Classic.
yeah,
Which I don't think they are. And I know some people are saying, like you said, something about classic meaning old and obsolete. And I look at it classic as being the classic
The
thing
original.
you're used to
using,
but only better.
Now, Lightroom did answer a bunch of questions that a lot of people had, and they did say that Lightroom Classic is not going anywhere.
Well, they also said
We'll
that they're
see if
not
that is
going
actually-
to stop selling the standalone version.
And that
which
changed.
they're going to stop selling the standalone version of Lightroom 6. So Lightroom 6 will get a D850 update as of October 26th.
Yep.
After 2017, there will be no more fixes or updates to that $149 version standalone.
Correct.
It's $149, or that's 15 months of subscription service if you want to look at it that way. I understand that people are upset that they have to pay a subscription. I think you need to get over it.
It's the way
If
everyone's
you
going
want
that way
updates,
these
like
days.
it's great if you have an old camera and you're never going to update your old camera and you don't need to unlock the RAW files, then by all means stick with what you have. Back in the day, we did that. But even if you're not a working professional, I'm not going to count your money, but $9.99, it's a subscription. Netflix is what, up $1 to like $10.99?
I think 10 or
whatever.
11, something like that.
Spotify, $10.99. We rent all of this stuff. This is
true.
This is the world we live in right. Oh, Todd's here. I didn't even.
We
realize
lease the
Todd was
cars. We lease our editing. We lease. Look, I'm the
Essentially
first
everything
person
now.
to say I hated when they went Premiere CC.
Todd leased
I
women?
refused it. I refused, and I eventually came around, and I actually love it now. Like knowing that your software is up to date, and
That's-
that everything's
yep.
current, and I can log in here to my account and have all my
See, that's the best.
preferences, and
That's
I
what I
love
love.
that.
You
I
can
love
sync.
that.
You can actually sync all of your assets
Yep.
to the cloud, and then
Yep.
have that wherever you go in
Yep.
Premiere
Yep.
or whatever other editing program
and,
you're using.
and if I'm on the road and I need to download an application or update an application, it's there. You're logged in. That's easy. I really think anybody that like, I like owning the software. Well, technically, you never actually owned the software anyway.
It's a license.
But just deal with it. It's a hell of a lot better than in 1999 when it was $900 to get Photoshop 4 or 5.
Final Cut Studio and 20 DVDs.
Oh,
Right.
God.
It's just a hell of a lot better than I never paid $800 or $900 for that software. I was
Pirate.
I was in school. I had a version. I had a version to use because I was in school, and they didn't. I don't think they even had student pricing back then anyway.
I don't think they did.
And so the changes that they've made, I'm all for what they're doing, and their stock price reflects that very well
Oh, yeah.
because of
They've obviously
how
had a
many
great
people
year.
have signed up, the billions of dollars that they're generating from the subscription model. There's a hell of a lot more people that are okay with the subscription model or are doing it than people who are not. And I understand people are upset about it and they're vocal, but it's never changing. So you're going to have to deal with it or suck it up or go use some free thing that you think is great and move to something else. Because
And-
there's other programs, Affinity and Capture One.
There's
iPhoto,
several other programs.
iPhoto crushes.
iPhoto
Yep,
all the way.
iPhoto
Yeah,
every-
Aperture.
every
Microsoft
day.
Paint.
Yep.
Yep. I do want to sidetrack, though, and talk about the Premiere Pro update. Now, the biggest thing for that I want to mention, especially to you, Todd,
Oh, I forgot about that.
is there is a new feature that you can open up more than one project at a time, and you can simply literally just drag something off that other project's timeline onto another project.
That's a really good idea.
Where before you had to literally either import a sequence or copy and paste it. It
I've
was
been
just a
able to
real
do that in
pain.
Final Cut
Doesn't
Pro
Final Cut do that?
10. You can do that. Yeah, I've been able to do that since the day
I click
it
on
relaunched.
So I'm learning. I've been using Final Cut for my
Mm-hmm.
vlogs, and when you have a new what's that thing called? Project.
Project,
When you have a project and you put it in the folder, and you've got two projects, you click on one, you click on the other, you take the asset, you put it where you need it to go, and we were talking about this when I was exporting that Lightroom video the other day. How slow ScreenFlow is to export. How
ScreenFlow is
fast
terrible.
Lightroom.
Final Cut.
How Final Cut's freaking blazing.
Final Cut
I would love
is-
to see what you guys could do in Final Cut.
Final Cut is essentially 10 times faster at exporting than Premiere Pro.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's been several tests, and Premiere Pro just is way behind when it comes to export.
I-
However, I think there's so many more things you can do in Premiere Pro.
How come I
Yes,
can't hit the
yes.
B button and get a blade in Premiere to cut my timeline? What's the code?
It's
What's
C.
It's C.
But I
C
hit
for cut.
C.
That's weird.
Well, here's what you can do though. You can set Premiere to have Final Cut keyboard shortcuts.
You can set any
Yeah.
keyboard shortcuts for whatever editing
I
program
love
you're
them
using.
both though. I use both.
Yeah.
I use Premiere for feature films, music videos that are complicated, or especially with audio syncing things.
Yeah, I mean, now with Premiere finally having proxy editing and finally having the open the separate projects, and I mean, I feel like they're finally really caught
Opening
up.
separate projects is huge.
It's huge
Yeah,
because
that's huge.
before I would have to import separate sequences, and it was just such a pain. Now
Or
it's
just comparing different. If you're like what I do on the last one. Oh, I can.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There's several templates that Dan and I will follow for every single video, and
Yeah.
now we can literally just copy and drag it over.
Yeah, that's
So,
great.
Will
that's
that
a
make
big
editing
update
faster?
Yes, that will make editing
be great.
faster.
Yeah, because I have to.
Because Jared loves waiting for us to edit.
I pay for the full version so that Dan and Steven can both use it.
It's great.
Because it's two licenses, you can put it on two computers.
Yep.
And so that's what we do for these guys. So they edit, and then we pay full price for that.
And it's totally worth it.
What do you guys think? Obviously, leave your comments. I'm sure some of you hate it, and some of you don't care. And I don't mind having the $9.99 if it just Photoshop and Lightroom for $9.99 for that $120 a year. I'm cool with it.
I'm very cool with the fact of the subscription model, but again, I think they just really screwed up on the naming platform and calling it Lightroom CC and Classic. I think that's a ton of made a lot of people confused.
And it's a momentary
a lot of confusion.
They knew it was going to happen. That's why they were prepared for it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
They've probably done their research and they have a roadmap to see. That's the thing. It's like I'm going to talk about
people just don't like change. That's what it is.
I don't like
agree.
change.
I agree.
Jared
I know
especially
somebody
hates
who
change.
loves change.
I'm going to make a. What's that supposed to mean? That I pick up pennies? Is that a racist joke? Was that racist?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Well, I always
All
pick
right,
up
here
pennies.
you go.
For whatever reason, I'm always I see shiny objects, and I'm like, oh, it's a penny, it's a dime, it's
that's
a
weird.
nickel.
But
so-
no, it's a crack vial.
oh, it's a needle.
If you're
It's a
outside the factory,
hypodermic.
it is.
Yeah, man, my bad.
Yeah, thank you, Gluten Charlie.
Oh, man.
Charlie Gluten. So anyway, that's the Adobe part. Let me do another. I'm plugging this right now. Many of you guys know that I've been promoting the ultimate Lightroom system from my friend Matt Klakowski, and he's the guy I've been learning Lightroom from since day one.
Same.
When Lightroom came out and I needed to go learn something, I watched his free videos because I couldn't afford to buy the videos at the time, and I was like, oh, that makes total sense. So I called Matt and said, hey, I'd like to affiliate your product because I like it. And so how that works is we have a code, which is FRO.
Oh, that's shocking.
If you go, can we pull that up? Can we pull up the website, please? If you go to
yes.
mattkay.com/FRO right now, you can see what's inside of this 13-hour guide. It's 13 hours of video, all cut up into individual videos. It's
nicely laid out.
really well.
Yeah.
Use the code FRO at checkout to get $105 off. The clock is still ticking. It's going to end tomorrow night, Saturday at midnight, so you still have time to go take advantage of that. I hate presets, but if you purchase this, you'll get 20 free presets when you download, when you purchase it, and use my code. And the thing I'll say about presets is just remember they are starting points. They are not ending points. They're not the quick way to get photos edited. You click a button, doesn't mean you're done. You need to continue editing. And so go check it out. There's a preview. There's a lot to learn in it. Yes, Stephen.
Biggest thing I want to mention about that is he's actually doing updated videos too for Lightroom CC, Lightroom Classic, all of the
nice.
new apps, the whole update. I think he already filmed videos.
He already filmed the videos.
And it'll be a free update.
And I'm pretty sure if you already purchased it, you will get that. And if you are
That's great.
purchasing it, you will get that as well.
Yep.
Plug over.
Well, you've been talking about his guide for a long time because you've been talking. Well, we talk about video guides. Obviously, we have video guides, and he was always talking about how good this was and that he watched this when he was doing his stuff. So.
We've been following Matt probably since the Lightroom Killer Tips days when he ran that website, and that was huge.
He was Lightroom Killer Tips, then it got purchased by Kelby.
Yep.
Then he taught a ton with Kelby. He's out at Adobe Max right now teaching. He did Photoshop World teaching all of those things.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm promoting it.
He's the man.
I'm promoting it, and it benefits us both. It helps us keep continuing to make free content because that's what happens. And I get a cut. He gets a cut.
Well, and again, the biggest thing is I do think he is the best teacher for Lightroom currently.
He's not as
at
sexy
least.
as me, but whatever.
I mean, definitely not.
He
but
definitely doesn't get angry.
I
doing
mean,
these
his
videos.
arms are bigger for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, he's
he's
diesel.
jacked.
He is jacked.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Moving on. Let's talk about that camera, the Canon G1X. The only reason I bring this up, G1X Mark III, is when I saw that they announced this, I was like, interesting. APS-C size sensor in a super small camera with a flippy out rotatable screen.
Yeah.
Dual pixel AF.
What?
Which means it's going to have great ISO because it's better ISO. It's going to be like an ADD on steroids or an M5.
Essentially, yeah.
But it has it has a built-in lens, touch screen.
Great.
The lens is a 3x zoom, which when I'm vlogging and I'm using
ordering right now.
the 16 to 35, it's great to have a 16. That's like a 3-time zoom.
Yeah.
Then you start getting into the weeds, and you're like, everything about this camera's awesome.
Yep. Pre-ordered mine.
As a still camera, yes.
Yep.
It's so close to being the perfect vlogging camera. It's just missing 2 things that, well, there's 3 main issues.
What?
1, it has no microphone input.
Which I will say 99% of the point and shoots that Canon has released, they don't have microphone inputs, but still.
The reason I
it's a
mention
bummer.
it is it's an incredible vlogging camera.
Cancel pre-order.
If it has that, because you need audio for that to put your Rode microphone in that.
Exactly. That microphone.
This segment brought to you by the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus.
It is a great microphone.
Video Mic Pro,
AKA
Wait,
the
what's this
hoagie
one
roll.
called?
That thing's huge, though. It's way
I
bigger
think
than
it's called the
old
hoagie
one.
roll.
It's the Video Mic Pro Plus, right?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think so.
yes,
Pro
yes,
Plus, yeah.
That's what it's
Pro
called.
Plus, yep.
I love this. Automatically turns on, turns off, has a battery that lasts over 100 hours built in and is rechargeable. Whatever. I wasn't supposed to plug it there, but whatever. It's getting plugged.
I love that it turns off when you turn the camera off. I do. I
Yep.
love that part.
Yep.
Yep.
And the fact that, you know, it has a detachable cable. So if you rip the cable by accident, which is what we did to the old one,
Very
you
nice.
don't have to just chuck the whole thing. You can
It's
just
very
replace
nice.
it.
Yep.
The other thing that it doesn't have is a wide enough angle lens. Yeah, 24 to 72.
Yeah.
Where they came up with that makes no sense. And then the third...
Still a good range,
No,
though.
that's a great range
Yeah.
for stills. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a fantastic body for taking stills.
But for vlogging.
But for vlogging, no. It was so close. And then it's $1,300. And then you're like,
Oh.
huh?
So that's more expensive than the
Wow.
80D, more expensive than the M5.
Smaller,
but it does
compact.
have the lens built in, and it comes with it. You're only paying for body only for the other 2 cameras.
Dual pixel AF, it has that sweet focusing capability to
man.
move
The touchscreen?
Touchscreen. So when it's up to your face, you move your finger on the touchscreen,
Or
and
move
it
it-
moves
move it
the
with your
focus
nose.
points. Yeah, my nose. Is that another Jewish joke? That's
You said it
2
in the
Jewish
review.
jokes. I
in
did.
the M5 review.
Did
yeah.
I really?
Yeah.
I never watched it. I'm just kidding. I watched it. It was
Probably
really
not.
good.
Well, when we were talking about it early, Jared, we were saying that you were talking about not getting wide enough. Because I was saying, okay, it doesn't have a mic input, but if you get that camera close enough to yourself, maybe you could get away with that microphone. But if it doesn't work, if it's not wide enough to really do this, then what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, the internal microphones are usually garbage.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had the potential, but as most Canon cameras go,
They
they
left
really
stuff
leave something out.
So-
it could be the perfect camera, but
Well,
nope.
let's talk about this though. Every kid today wants to be a vlogger. Not a
teenagers,
not every kid,
yeah,
but a lot of
middle schoolers and-
people, their goal in life. Well, they when they grow up, they want to make YouTube.
They want to be
videos,
famous.
right? They want to be famous.
They just want to be
But
famous.
Morgan, Todd's daughter. I mean,
in a creative
Me.
sense of it, let's build a perfect vlogging camera. What we would like to see.
Articulating screen, for sure.
Well, yes, you have your rotatable articulating screen, dual pixel AF.
Yes.
You can have either, I do like the APS-C size sensor.
Yeah.
Because it's not 1 inch, which is smaller, and the quality goes down when you're in low light
Yep,
situations.
yep.
It's not full frame, but I would like to see
Meets
a
you in the
lens
middle, yeah.
that is somewhere around 16 millimeters and has a 3-time zoom. Because generally speaking, you don't need that extra zoom when you're vlogging.
you need the wider more than you need
You
the
need the
zoom,
wider
reach.
so that you can talk to
Yeah.
it. And then you could use your feet to get closer to things. Or if it was 4K, you could crop in and deliver it in 1080, but still have a 4K deliverable. Still have a 4K file to work from.
Yep.
So that could work as a zoom for the 1080.
Yeah, that could be your 2
So-
angles.
So you've got those functions. You have a price that's $700 roughly, microphone input, or even if you want to cut it down even further, you come up with your own microphone that is not the piece of shit microphones that are always in the cameras, but you come up with a shotgun that can be right there, that it's built in, has a little penis thing sticking out.
Oh, a
with
built-in shotgun mic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
right on the top or on the side or somewhere close.
Yeah.
And you've created the new flip camera that everybody needs to buy, but it's not $139.
That's true. Yeah,
know,
I mean, if you specifically made a camera for just vlogging,
Or
and
if
just
you want
packed a punch in it,
and if you want to
The
take it,
ADV, I call it. The ADV.
the ADHD.
and it doesn't even need to, at that point to have an EVF.
Yeah.
So you could take
Yeah,
out the EVF.
yeah,
So
yeah.
let's strip it down even further. 1 inch sensor. Wide-angle lens that zooms, much less expensive. Hit a different target. $499, $599. Microphone input, maybe not, but just a regular microphone. These kids are going to go ahead and learn to film. You're getting them into your ecosystem.
Just a microphone that's better than what's there for reference audio.
That too, yes. Scratch
Just something
audio.
better. Just a better microphone with a better amp in there. I don't know how they would deal with that, but if they would do that.
The biggest thing, though, quality-wise, it still has to be better than an iPhone, which
That's correct.
It's hard to compete with today if you have a $500-$600 camera. I mean, you're really not getting much better quality until you get to the $1,000 point most of the time.
And I'm sure there's people screaming in the comments talking about the GH5. And that's expensive.
I think Panasonic has, is it the GX85? It's their point and shoot. That's a lot of vloggers will use too.
Does it have a microphone input?
I think. I don't know. I've never used it. The RX Mark V, I don't think that has
No,
a microphone
that's
input.
a great camera, but the problem is the flippy screen will block a microphone if you put a microphone on top.
Correct.
Right.
It's just got
And
the
that's-
flip screen,
Yep.
not a very angle.
And that's what the Canon got right on this one.
Yeah.
Is that it does that.
Well, Canon tends to do the very angle where every other company will do the tilt screen. I don't know why. Maybe they own some kind of patent toward it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
Whatever.
either. But before I forget, Photo Plus is coming up this week.
Yes.
Next week.
Next
Sorry. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. My plan is to be there Thursday. I may come back up Saturday. I've never gone on a Saturday. I'd like to go and meet you guys on a Saturday. So if you're there, come and say hi. Show me that you have my gear vault loaded. Tell your friends.
What will you do if they come up and show you? Is that the only way that they can get like?
I'm not giving them a free lens cloth, Dan.
You
Lens
don't get a
cloths-
picture.
Lens
Dan,
cloths
how
are
dare
expensive.
you say free or anything?
I'm not gonna bribe
Although
the
you'll
people
get a
for
free
a
bag.
product that's already free that I'm not selling for giving them
Anybody
a $5
that comes
lens
and
cloth.
shows Jared my gear vault, he'll give you a free bag.
No, I will fist you.
Whoa, whoa!
Like
this is
this.
a family
whoa.
show.
I'm
This
gonna
is a
fist
Cut it
family
out. Oh, wait,
show.
we're live.
I'm gonna
A fist bump.
fist bump you.
Oh, all right. I thought you
Oh.
were in my search history.
How about a fist
again.
pump? Fist
No.
pump you.
No.
Got
Beat that beat up.
And if you see me, let's do like the best handshake ever.
That's
I
not a
thought-
handshake, first of all. This is a...
I thought we were gonna do the Black Panther one, where it's like that. That's
Sorry to ruin your Black Panther party. As far as goes, if you didn't know. All right, so I
Sorry.
just killed that last story about the vlogging thing. What would your perfect vlogging camera be? What would it consist of? And maybe we should just all shut the hell up because this is the best vlogging camera. Who knows?
I mean...
You
it
can get a video
kind
like
of
me
is.
for
It's
it.
always in your
Yeah.
pocket.
And it's 4K.
It's 4K.
It doesn't have an optical zoom.
Does slow motion.
It does really good slow motion.
I have no problem using my phone for
I think the
B-roll
only-
or
I think the
like,
biggest-
especially vlog style.
Yeah, the biggest thing is you're not going to have the depth of field. You're not going to have
Yeah.
that nice bokeh. You're not going to have low light with the phone. I mean, the phone just craps out once you get to even like golden hour.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
I
issues still
started to
with it.
realize
Audio's
my
terrible.
daughter in that audience,
They don't care.
0.
Yeah.
Zero what? Quality?
0 freaks and fracks. 0 cares.
Hi,
about
guys.
quality,
It's Morgan.
Any of that.
Hi, guys. It's Morgan.
Morgan
And
is
today we're
crushing.
going to talk about what's in my dance bag. I
was-
have 2 pairs of shoes, just in case Brenda forgets one. What's her name?
I'm trying to talk her into doing like a Brenda, a Brenda character, like dress up. She's really not. I'm trying to get her to be stupider.
Just have her
Not
watch.
happening.
Have her watch the Liza Cozy stuff. I don't
She
know.
loves all that. She loves
Well,
all
that's what Liza Cozy does. She's like, "What's up, it's your girl Liza?"
I'm
Is
gonna
that
get her
how she
to do that.
talks?
So you can check her out, youtube.com//Morgan.
Yeah, if you see a thumbs down, it's
Morgan
because
Jean.
it's Steven.
It's
That's
backslash
right.
slash.
When you see the thumbs down, I immediately assume it's Jared.
No, it's usually me.
I will punch.
All
you
right, so let's move on. Yesterday, 2 days. So I was in Washington D.C., the capital of the Republic. Is that from Hunger Games?
Probably. I don't know.
I forget what Hunger Games. Like I went to see President Sneed, or I forget who was.
I
Hunger
forget
Games.
all of the characters.
Wrong.
Anyway, so let me tell you why I was in Washington, D.C., what was going on, what I did, because this is very important to creators and people like Morgan, not so much for Todd, but other people.
Not
So
me.
YouTube reached out to me. As you know, I've been going to LA and I've been doing some learning things with YouTube. And the people at YouTube/Google asked me if I wanted to go speak on Capitol Hill to a bunch of Republicans and to a bunch of Democrats. It was supposed to be a joint session of the.
Oh, it wasn't. I thought it was.
Oh, that thing ended up. That part got canceled.
Oh, wow.
So
That's funny.
I spoke to the Democrats. I spoke to the Republicans on a panel with this other girl who has a YouTube channel, but we also talked to some third party. I know I'm going all over the place.
It was just
here.
you two, though. You and another creator, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me start at the beginning.
Yeah.
They invited me to this to partake. I'm not speaking on behalf of Google. I'm not speaking on behalf of YouTube. They just want people who utilize their products,
Their platform,
to
yeah.
share their story. That's my job. Share my story, share my experience, so that the people in Washington can understand that we have a business here that is built off the backs of YouTube. And if you start clamping down on copyright harder, like because the music companies and everybody thinks that the way to make more money these days is to clamp further down on copyright, which is bass backwards still.
Yeah.
That's not how you make. You make more. Anyway, we're not going to get into the music industry right there. And we talked about NAFTA.
Really?
Yeah, because they're like, NAFTA affects you. I'm like, but I thought NAFTA was about trade of goods and products. They're like, well, what most people don't know is that NAFTA, actually, I'm an exporter. I export content. 50% of my viewers come from outside of the United States.
Huh.
People purchase things from outside of the United States. So I'm an exporter. And part of NAFTA and these trade laws.
Interesting.
And part of NAFTA are these trade laws and these trade agreements. Because some other countries, if you don't have a deal with them, can say, well, we are going to shut down YouTube in our countries if somebody does X, Y, and Z. They want oversight. They want to have control.
Oh.
And so part of the agreements that this administration is hopefully going to do a good job doing,
Breathe.
which I don't hold out much hope that they get it right. But part of what I was there to do, we sat down with people that are on different boards and in different organizations and shared the story of how I've got 2 full-time employees, right? I take care of their health coverage. Dan just had a baby. He needs a job.
We didn't even talk about that, actually.
I meant to talk about that at the beginning. Dan, can we show your baby real quick?
Yeah, he had
That's not your baby.
Little baby
That's
boy.
an alien. No, I was hoping that it would.
There he
He's
is.
not naked, is he?
No, he's got a little diaper on.
Are his nipples pierced, Dan?
This is Dan Jr.
When's
Little
that
Danny.
How old's that picture? All right. He was just born. He was a week old at that point. All right, get that off the screen. Get
He's
He's
that
a
thing off the
person,
screen.
Jared.
Get that kid off the screen. Oh, look how cute he is.
Oh, little Dan.
Look at that little kid. All right, Dan, get it off the screen. Dan, off the screen.
That's funny though. When I saw the picture at first, I thought it was Dan because he's so tiny, and that's
he's
how he
always cold.
he kind of sits like this at his computer
It's
when
the
he's
editing
editing.
hands.
So I see the resemblance already. He's got editor hands like Dan.
All right. Let me bring it back in. Thank you. Congratulations, Dan.
Yeah,
Congrats,
man, that's
Dan.
great.
And good
Yeah.
luck. Dan had some paternity leave.
Yeah.
So don't say I've never done anything for my employees.
By the way, that was your gift, Dan. That was your baby gift.
There's your
Your
I haven't
paycheck.
gotten him a baby gift yet because I'm still trying to figure out what is the right thing to get.
It's called a job. That's
that's
the gift.
what a Republican
That's the
would
gift
say.
that keeps on. Well, that's who you and Paul Ryan were talking about that,
So
right?
I was in Paul Ryan's office. We'll get to that in a minute.
Did you lift weights with him?
We went.
He's way bigger than you.
We worked out at the gym together. We looked at beards together. Anyway, so the whole NAFTA thing, I was getting educated on it, and then I spoke with other people on the Hill about how what we do is important and the goals for YouTube. Like Google has lobbyists, right?
Yeah.
And when you hear the word lobbyist, you really think totally negative shit.
Yeah, I
But
do.
I
Yeah.
asked these guys, I said, okay, what is a lobbyist's job in your position? They're like, it's to educate and inform. Okay? Hopefully.
They're making educational and informative content, videos?
No, that's me.
Fun and informative? Oh,
That's me.
my bad.
That's me.
okay.
Sometimes. No, but
Right.
I don't make fun and informative, Todd. I make clickbait
So you're-
and sales videos to sell people stuff.
There you
Right.
go.
That's
so
my
you're
goal.
kind
There
you're
you
the
go.
shitty lobbyist.
Yeah, I only lobby for people. Wrong screen. I only focus for people. My goal is to sell and make clickbait to be misleading to people.
Yeah.
And now that will be used out of context some point.
That's understandable.
Down the road when somebody makes a new meme that's like the real Frodo's photo.
Jared finally confesses.
Were you there also to teach them about YouTube? To help them share their message?
That was the second part.
Okay.
So
You didn't teach him how to go live, though, right? Because obviously
Apparently
you
not.
do not know how to do that.
We're still figuring that out.
I did not. So the and hopefully it goes right onto the page properly later.
We'll see.
That's yeah. Hopefully, I
I'm
hope
sure
it creates
it
its
will.
own video though. But will it replace it next time? Like that's the thing. Is it going to say? Because at the end I'm supposed to hit save or it disappears.
Okay. Trial and error, man.
See,
We'll
that's
find out.
horse shit, man.
I don't think it tells you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd, give that a
It's
check.
still going. It's all going. I have it open on my phone.
Yeah.
So the point is that I was there to help start a conversation so that the lawmakers who sometimes are in their 50s, 60s, 70s will then have a panel to understand how making laws, it's not just about...
Well, excuse me, Mr. Jared, though. Real quick question for you. Where's the porn? Where's the porn tab so I can find that?
Thank you, the Southern representative from Alabama.
Arkansas. Same
Arkansas.
thing, though.
It's about educating them so that when they are crafting the laws on either side, that they take into consideration something that we do so they don't accidentally forget that, oh, if we say that all exports of digital products need to be taxed at 70% or something, then that could be a problem for creators who sell globally. We live in a global economy here.
Yeah.
And so that was one part of it.
Did they say that you're allowed to take money from Russia to put ads on your YouTube channel?
Niet.
God damn it. I need that sweet, sweet rubles.
Rubles.
I need those sweet rubles.
So anyway, the next part was to go speak to Democratic, the interns,
Democrats,
the assistant, the people that do the social media for Congress people and senators.
Yeah.
And so they had it where they had a Dem education thing on the Hill Day where they had a bunch of different people coming in to talk. So I was one of them. And my goal was to give ideas on how they could humanize. I wrote this down. I want to get this right. Where's my notes? The main points I wanted to hit is humanize, be authentic, and just start.
and tighter shirts.
When in doubt,
no.
tighter shirts.
Sorry.
But humanize was the big point. Make your person seem like they're a human being. And then I just started throwing a lot of different ideas out. We did Q&A. We talked about what they could do, how live stream could work, how you don't even always need to have your boss in the videos. You can talk about your day. And I think I forgot the other part was educate.
Right.
Because when I was talking to the Republican side, I'm like, it's education. I'm asking them questions about how does this work? What is the House Speaker's job? And they're telling me facts that I had no idea that I thought were really interesting. History things. People are always interested in how things are made. How do you make that? Well, did you know that I could technically be Speaker of the House without being voted in? You could be Speaker of the House.
I am Speaker in my house. Ask my wife.
No.
Shut up and make me dinner.
Exactly.
That's how it goes down in my house.
And then it trickles down because then the mother-in-law yells at you too.
She says, Todd, do you want me to make you a turkey burger with no bun and tomato and lettuce?
No fun.
No fun.
Yes, I would love that. I love having my
She's
mother-in-law.
like, do it yourself. She's like, do it yourself.
Do it yourself then.
She's like, I'll make myself one and eat it.
No, what I end up doing all day is cleaning up piss and shit because Chet doesn't know where he's at.
Because Chet's like 20
How old
years
is he now? Your dog.
He's 17. 17.
Man.
Yeah,
Does he
he's
just run into
17,
walls
man.
now?
He goes if he goes to the bottom of any set of steps, he thinks he's outside and just shit. So he'll come down the steps in my basement, just come down the steps, takes a shit. I was like, damn it!
Is there
Luckily,
video?
I actually own a shampoo cleaner now. I bought one.
Why don't you
so-
You got to
Put
do
a-
it like right away, though,
Why
right?
don't you put a poo pad down there?
I need to put like a poop cam so people can just watch it live. When it
I was
happens,
gonna
it
say, why
happens
did-
every 30 minutes or so.
Film it or it didn't happen.
Well, make sure it's not live on YouTube though, because you might have some issues there.
So I spoke with the Democrat, spoke to the Republican side. I was saying humanize. We kept politics out of it. It said humanize, educate, be authentic, and just do things. And so they're telling me things that they do, and I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
Here's another thing you could do. And I'm like, nobody knows what a committee. I don't know what a committee is. So break down 7 things you never knew about a committee. What makes committees good? What makes committees
Hit 'em
bad?
with facts,
the best
yeah.
things about Washington D.C. The worst things about Washington
Educate.
D.C.
Did you teach them how to make clickbait titles? Because I think you'd be great at telling
I did.
them that.
I was like, everything's about clickbait. You know?
Paul Ryan naked. Just put that in the title.
So the reason we bring up the Paul Ryan part is because I got a private tour of the Capitol with one of the interns.
Hey.
Whoa.
Whoa. Hey.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
His name was
Well, and
I
now
forget
it all
his
comes
name.
full circle.
I forget his name, but he was very good. He was really
What?
He was very educated. He was
Okay.
well spoken, and there wasn't. We're live. We're live. I'm not gonna say.
We're watching Jared live edit himself here.
He's tried so hard.
I had to do this when I was speaking to the Republicans, and they're like talking about facts, and I'm like, no, those would be alternative facts.
Yes,
I had to
yes.
be careful. And then the guy's like, oh, I see that you're. I told him I was being neutral. I'm wearing gray. He's like, oh, but you have a little red in your wristband, and I'm like, yeah, and my
Lord.
underpants are blue right now. Do you want to see? And
You should have just been like, that's because I'm a blood. Not Republican. I'm just a
I'm
blood.
surprised they didn't give you crap for your shirt saying I shoot raw.
no, there was no problem with my shirt. I went as me. I
That's
wasn't.
his Second Amendment right there.
I wasn't going to dress up and wear. No, I wasn't going to dress up.
Oh no, I didn't
I
think
was
you
going
would.
to be me. So I ended up getting the tour of the Capitol with that intern, and I went to Paul Ryan's office. In most places, there was no video allowed.
Does he even lift, bro?
What was really cool in his office is where his desk is. Now, this is the Speaker's office, so this could be a Democrat, this could be a Republican. This is the office where they always go, right? So in his office, he's got his iMac, a window, and the window is overlooking the Capitol building. Hey, Dan, cut to Todd's chair right now.
Todd had to take a little pee break.
Frank. He must have to go pee or he ate some gluten.
He's
Todd's
yelling
screaming from the bathroom. All right, back here. So overlooking, he's got such an amazing view out his window, and he's got an outside area patio
nice.
where it's overlooking where the inauguration is, and that's
cool.
just an amazing
Great view, yeah.
I felt defeated when I was in the office because I felt like I was the losing team coming to see the winning team, and so that wasn't wonderful. I got to go into the chambers where the State of the Union is, so that's where the Senate.
That's cool.
Where they vote.
Yeah.
I had to take my Apple Watch off.
Did they let you film anything in there?
Not in there.
That's
Not
what I
in there.
thought.
I'll
That's
get
what
to
I
that in a
thought.
second.
Yeah.
So I couldn't film in there, which makes no sense. But what I will say about the place where the State of the Union is, the room feels so much. It's much smaller in person than it is on TV. It's so much
Really?
smaller. And then I looked up and I saw a bunch of Hasidic Jews sitting in the box up above. It was kind of funny.
Did you join them?
No, I didn't join them.
Were they from B&H?
Moishi?
Moishi was not there.
I thought maybe they were delivering you your memory cards.
So do any of them actually like utilize
The Jews?
YouTube today? No, just Congress in general.
Yeah, so
Do they
Paul Ryan
utilize-
has a whopping 11,000 subscribers on YouTube with adding
I have more than that.
0.6 subscribers a day. So when they were talking, when I was in the Republican part of it and we were talking about channels, they're like, Paul Ryan has a channel. I'm like, and it's doing really well. And but I'm being honest. I'm like, but stop putting C-SPAN tapes of him talking.
gonna say, what
up
is
there.
on his
Why
YouTube
don't you
channel?
show him being a human being?
Talk to the. I would say vlog, but I don't think they're. I don't know. Are they allowed to like vlog their day?
Do
I
whatever
think
the hell
no,
you want.
No, I
Do
do.
they
think,
follow-
I think a day in the life would be super interesting.
And
Yeah.
so
I do.
picked-
I agree.
All
No, I
right.
agree.
Yeah.
So with both sides of the aisle, when I was done talking at the very end, I was like, oh, by the way, I told him about my day in the life project, and I said, I have business cards. These business cards cost $2 each. I wasn't, and then I'm like, I'm not selling them to you. I'm just letting you know.
Just letting you know for tax write-off purposes at the end of the year.
They're $2 each. But I'm like, who wants one? And a lot of these guys were coming up and girls were coming up to be like, yeah, this was great. We loved hearing you speak. You gave a lot of information.
You get a business card. You get a business card.
I've got your cards, everybody. You guys want a card? There you go. I brought cards, $2 each, by the way. Just for tax purposes, IRS, these cost me actually $5 each.
So they really, both sides were really appreciative of the help.
That's great.
And that's all I could do is I could be me, keep political parts to the side to myself, and just help. And I just told them I don't want to help you too much because I don't want you doing great. But anyway, they said that the Republicans are doing a better job than the Democrats on the social side of it.
Huh.
Not the social side, but social media side, because we know that they don't do well on the social side. And the
Interesting.
Facts, the alternative facts prove all of that. So let's show the Rotunda video, Dan. That's the one indoors from the Capitol. So because I was vlogging, I started to do a vlog down there on FRO Goes to D.C. or FRO Knows Washington or whatever.
FRO Does D.C.
I love FRO. I love Mr. FRO Goes.
Wait, is that
to
like
DC.
Debbie Does Dallas? Shit, I didn't even think about that. Debbie Dallas is so old. So this is the Rotunda where dead presidents lie in state or major things happen. Super cool room, open
cool
to the
time
public.
lapse.
Yeah, I set the time lapse. I didn't want it to go too long. Well, okay, we'll go into this. We won't go into that. We're not going into that.
All right.
Run the Rotunda thing over. Run it over and over while I talk with me in the bottom corner for now. Can you do that? Is that possible on this box, Dan?
It is possible.
That's possible.
He's going to figure it out.
He'll
But
get it.
this is it's the largest dome in the United States.
Outside of Dan's
Texas.
baby, though. Outside of Dan's baby, he's got a really big fucking dome. If you saw that picture.
So that's from the outside, but Texas has the largest dome, I was told, their Capitol building. There's a depiction of the history of the United States up there, and it goes from the killing of the Indians, I think, all the way up to the Wright brothers.
Oh, wow.
There's a statue. Every state gets 2 statues, and the only prerequisite is they need to be dead, and it needs to be made of either bronze or marble. So I learned a little bit. And there was a crypt built into the center of the Capitol building. And see, all of this, so Dan, cut back to us now. Every time these guys, and I went to happy hour, it wasn't very happy with the Republicans, but we went to happy hour with them. And every time we talked, like I was asking questions. What is the job of the speaker? What is this person? And they're explaining. I'm like, that's content.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing to educate and inform is content. Maybe people would find you to be less of assholes if you educated and informed and were human.
I think especially for the younger generation, that's going to really inform them because that's all they're on these days.
Well, especially when education is
YouTube and
cut,
social
you don't
media.
even really learn about this stuff in school anymore.
Right,
They cut things out like social studies, political science.
I kept that to myself.
Yeah, I mean that. My wife is in education. She was. And there's definitely an issue with kids don't even know like what the president does or what people do.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Make content, educate people. Frank is not thirsty, Todd.
Well,
Frank
you know what?
is not thirsty.
He looked hungry.
He
looked a little party. He looked a little
he's
dry.
little
He looked a
scared.
little dry.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't have dental coverage.
He doesn't want to chip his tooth.
He does have dental coverage.
It was taken away. Anyway, so let's show the outside thing because after I was done, I left myself extra time to go tour around D.C. and I got to the Capitol building and I was doing an Instagram live because it looked so beautiful. But I'm like, screw this. I need to focus on taking some pictures. And so, can we show the pictures first, Dan? Yeah. Let's get some pictures. The day picture first. I used the iPhone 8 Plus.
Oh,
to
the
take a picture.
iPhone you did for that. Okay.
Yeah. What do you
Nice.
think I did it with?
I just assumed the 6D because you had it for the time lapse.
No, the 6D was doing the time lapse for 20-some minutes, 30-some minutes
Gotcha.
while I was doing this picture. So that's very similar to the Brandenburg Gate.
It is very similar to that. Yeah.
That's how I shot it. I did debate posting it upside down. I didn't. The goal.
so political, so edgy.
It's a beautiful building. That photo's cool, and then I retook it at night too.
I saw the night one. I did assume it was on your phone because it
Oh god,
did
it's
look
so grainy and noisy.
pretty noisy.
And I shot it raw.
There's
Well,
the
it's
night
because
one.
what it does if you zoom in, not that Dan can zoom in on this.
I mean, you can even see there's like magenta in the sky because it's so noisy.
Yeah, and I edited it in Lightroom Mobile.
Did you take it in Lightroom Mobile or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can't shoot raw in the iPhone.
I didn't know if you used what was the one app you would always use?
Pro camera,
Pro Cam 4 or whatever. Yeah.
something like that. So anyway, the photos were great. Now let's show the time lapse because I'm like, well, sun's going down. Let's do a time lapse with the 6D Mark II, which the dynamic range is no good on. Everybody remember
Just throw
that.
it out. You should
Remember
just
that
delete
camera
it.
sucks.
Yeah.
You can't do anything
Just
with it.
trash it.
But it's great for vlogging. I'll tell you that much. Believe me, it's very, very, very amazing. Greatly good for that. So I did a time lapse as the sun was going down, and it was actually really cool to watch this happening. I was like, awesome. And I didn't run it long enough to have the lights come up, but I did a secondary one where the lights came up. But the lights actually never fully came on.
Did you have it set manually for that time lapse?
I did set it manually.
Nice.
Because I set it for the exposure there.
Yeah, 'cause you wanna
knowing
see
that
it.
as it got darker,
Exactly.
it's going to start to fade
Yep.
naturally.
You don't want it to
with
be
the
auto
lights.
exposure.
Right, because if it was auto exposure, it would all look like daylight.
Yep.
And they would just bump the ISO and
Exactly.
stuff like that. So you see the people blur because I dropped the shutter speed to about a second. And so it allows people to blur in the frame. And that's that part.
Pretty cool, man.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
That is cool.
So now, being that I wasn't able to film most of the places I went, I'll be using video blocks quite heavily to download.
They do have a lot
I'm
of
sure
DC.
They have
They have a
Ton
lot
of
of
stuff
DC
from DC.
stuff.
Yeah.
right. So I'll probably pull like 1938 DC. I
don't know if they have that.
I walked
but
over to the White House. I went to the White House. They didn't let me in.
There's plenty of archive sites.
They
that
let you
have all
film
that.
anywhere outside, right?
No, you're
Really?
not allowed to cross the street. They have it so.
Oh,
You're
you
not
can't
allowed
go
to
up
go
to
up-
the gate. You
Well, I
can't
mean, the
fence.
gate,
Can't
yeah.
go up
Can't
to
go
the
to the
gate.
fence.
You cannot go up to the gate. You
Really?
cannot go up to the fence.
Oh, wow.
They shut down Pennsylvania Avenue right there. It's not even they have a perimeter that says do not cross. You are literally on a sidewalk across the street. You cannot get up to the
That's
fence.
funny.
at
I always
least
see
where I
like
was.
footage of people at the fence.
Yeah, maybe that's the backside.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I should have probably gone to the
I mean, it might have
backside.
changed with the new administration. Who knows?
It may
Yeah,
have.
I-
And
As I know, I've seen pictures of my wife and daughter when they went. They were all the way up to the
Right in the front, right?
fence at the front of the
At
house.
the front, yeah.
well,
Like,
maybe
not
I
at
was
the
just in the
house, but-
back.
I don't know.
Maybe I was near the residence, and that's the problem.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, possibly.
But I just was so upset there that I had to leave. So I didn't want to spend too much time there. But the next day, yesterday, a Pikachu tried to jump the fence and got arrested. A guy dressed as a Pikachu jumped the fence.
Oh, I thought you were saying you found one on your little game, your Pokemon game.
No, I think he's being literal. That
No,
Pikachu tried to jump the
Pikachu
fence.
did jump the fence. So, Todd, out of curiosity, does it say how long we've been on the live stream?
I think it's been about 50 minutes.
Well,
57
All right,
minutes.
just so
yeah.
I know. Just
yeah, I can't see an actual time on that.
And there's actually people in there still?
Oh, yeah, there's lots of people talking.
They hate us yet? At one time, maybe in the future, we can get a separate. I don't want to be too distracted, but I do want to. No, I shouldn't be reading the comments. We need to have a moderator.
You would need a separate moderator. We would have Dan and then a separate person probably just reading the main chat,
that
the
could
live chat.
we could go to them and ask how this
Yeah,
chat's going.
and they could
then throw
moderate, pick out
questions.
certain questions. We could have like a Q&A section. I mean, this is all, we're still trying to figure out the live stream.
Maybe
Obviously,
we'll
there's going to be hiccups.
Get an intern in here.
I think-
and by intern, I mean we're not paying you.
I think once
We'd
we're
pay you for the show.
Yeah.
once we're back on the schedule, once we have this live stream really fully set up and figured out, everything
Ask
will be
Paul
back to
Ryan.
normal.
He's
and-
really good. He's got 11,000 subscribers.
Yeah, so I did offer a day in the life to Paul Ryan's digital person.
Okay.
And we're going to try to make that happen. I'm just trying not to say things that are in my head because we're
Live edit.
But humanizing, spending time with the family, spending time back home, doing what he's doing. Like, that's the real stuff. If people see you outside of this work environment,
It's true.
and if you humanize your bosses and not constituents, the senators and the Congress people would be less apt to call them assholes. It's just like on YouTube. You call us assholes, but you don't know us.
You
we
don't
don't
realize
know
we're
them.
people.
And I'll say this. I
Yeah.
was walking down the street. I was heading over to Google, and there was a Fox News reporter on the street.
And he said, Jared, hey, asshole.
No, she had her cameraman, and I'm walking by, and she's like, hey, can we interview you? I'm like, who are you with? She's like, Fox. I'm like, I don't like Fox. She's like, well, can we interview? I'm like, okay, about what? And she's like, well, here's the stats. The Senate And the senators make $173,000 a year and only work 18 hours a week. Do you think that's fair? And so my answer was, it's a great gig if you can get it, first. And second, I said, I can't tell you whether that's true or not that they work only 18 hours a week. Maybe that's what their schedules are
Office
saying.
hours or
their
something.
office hours say 18 hours a week, but we don't know what else they're doing. So I'm not going to tell you that they should make less or they should make more or they're not doing their job because I don't know what they actually do to tell you educated enough that no, they make too money or they're all assholes.
I mean, I feel like that job is potentially a 24-hour job.
I agree. I
to a
definitely
certain
agree.
degree.
There's
Like,
no way
whether or
it
not
can
you're
only
in
be-
that building or not,
you're doing the job.
you're doing the job. You're that person all the time.
And
I feel
see,
like
that's a piece of content. I said this in the Republican room. I'm like, print out that sheet that shows the schedule that your bosses go through. 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. If that's what it is, call here, this, there, lunch, this, that. Show all of the things they have to do.
Russian meeting 1, Russia meeting 2, Russia meeting 3. Got it.
That's good. That's good.
Das
Hold on.
Vidanya.
I wonder how many people are dropping out on the live stream right now.
But this still all involves creatives. If photographers, this is.
I mean, it's fascinating that they're interested in the creative process to this point. I think that's really, really interesting.
Well, they understand that it helps them get their message.
Did they buy the guide to shooting video or the guide to editing video?
I don't think the government approved it. I don't think it got approved. It was too expensive. You should see the list. Hold on. Do I have the list?
The list of what? You got enough stuff in your pocket?
All that money.
Oh, that's a check.
There's a check. That's
Ball
another
out to your
check. Another
fallout.
check.
That's a
another
check. Throw that
check,
away.
Check.
Don't
Never
need
mind.
that.
Cha-ching.
I don't have it, but the Democratic guys gave me the list of gear. They had recommendations for $500, $1,000, and $1,500. They don't even have Lightroom. They don't even recommend Lightroom. They can't get the budget to spend the $9.99 a month to have fucking Lightroom.
Really?
So they had like PicMonkey or something because it's $45 a year. And I'm like, are you guys? And then on the Republican side, the Republican guy sits there. He says, "Oh, by the way, if you got," because I mentioned Lightroom. I'm like, and the Oreo incident. I'm like, if you guys don't have Lightroom, just contact my office. We'll get you the budget to make it work. It's like, okay, they're getting the right tools to do the job.
Yeah. Huh.
So anyway, the list of stuff was. I answered the question like live. The one of the staffers asked me like, what do you recommend that's cheap? And I'm like, no, I like to recommend things that are inexpensive but functional, right? Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
If you want to do it for under $1,000, you can get a Rebel camera. You can get a microphone, but you need to get a camera that has a mic input because that's going to make your job much easier to go directly into that. Get some sort of aperture light or F&V light. You can have a light like that and get...
Especially Aperture. Aperture is fairly inexpensive
I
for
just
what
got
you're getting.
two of them. I just bought 2 of them.
And Todd's cheap as
I really
shit.
like them.
Todd is the
I'm
cheapest
super
guy I
cheap,
know.
and they're great, man. They're great.
And so I'm like, a microphone, a DSLR, probably a Canon because of the dual pixel AF, and light, and some kind of support. Even a gyro, even a freaking some
stabilizer,
some kind of stabilizer,
Yeah.
and you could be dangerous with that.
Yeah.
You could be dangerous with your phone if you need to be dangerous.
So
with your
if
phone.
they don't have Lightroom or anything else, I mean, I assume they don't have some kind of editing suite.
if they're using an iMac, you have iMovie. Like, get over it. Get the budget to make this content. I'm going to go tell them. I'm going to go back to the Hill and yell at them.
I can't imagine that. That's going to
weird.
really be
Jared
different
yelling?
from your normal personality. So
I had fun. I had fun speaking. And the crazy thing was they had panel lights on us at the front because So a guy comes down to the front. He's taking pictures.
So you couldn't see anything.
I could still see.
You could still see?
Yeah. No, the guy was taking pictures, and I asked him if he's shooting RAW. He said he was. Then he took 8 pictures in a row, and I asked him if any of those were going to be good. You know, like how many more do you need to? He put it. Anyway, he was really nice. Then I had the LED panels. They had 2 big ones, daylight. They had 2 little ones on me, and the other people were tungsten balanced in a tungsten balanced room. So they had 2 mixed lighting. Themselves throwing mixed lighting in, and I didn't correct them on that. I didn't yell at them for that one.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. I mean, mixed lighting works in certain situations,
But not having
for practicals and stuff like that. But
it was weird. But
Yeah.
it was such a tremendous experience. I'm really thankful that YouTube and Google think enough of me to bring me out to speak.
That's cool.
And the greatest thing that they say is, be you.
You're like, you sure?
Did you watch my channel? Have you seen RAWtalk? I
Have you
get
seen
really
my
mad and
titles?
angry when things don't go my way.
They just said, be you.
That's cool.
They don't want us. We're not representatives of YouTube or Google. We're on our own. We're representing the Lollipop Guild. We're representing ourselves and the creators out there.
Nice.
And so, and I loved it. And so I will go back anytime. I will offer up. I offered up to the Republican side, the Democratic side, the Democrat side, my Day in the Life project. I will go there. I will spend the day.
What about the Green Party? Will you go up there to the Green Party?
They don't exist.
Oh.
Dan's got to leave soon.
They don't exist. Don't give me the world. I was so sitting at the
How
thing.
does it feel?
So sitting.
How does it feel?
So sitting yesterday.
Wrap it up.
In the panel.
Wrap it up.
So sitting yesterday in the panel, I caught myself about to go like this to the woman because she wouldn't shut the hell up. No,
guy.
not the other girl, not the other YouTuber. She was great. And the other girl was great too, but she kept talking about things that didn't involve me. It wasn't
That's
just me.
exactly correct.
No.
That is exactly what you mean.
She was taking too long to get to the
to you.
to get to the Q&A. No, she was
About you.
No, she was sidetracking.
So you
and I
could
felt
talk.
myself getting ready to do the whirly bird, and Dan can't find the right button to get my close up. He kept cutting to everybody else. All right, so let's move on to Gear of the Week. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Google. Thank you to the Democrat side. Thank you to the Republican side. Hopefully, humanize, educate, inform,
Just
And-
start.
and,
And
just
don't
start.
blow up the world. Thank you.
And they were talking about tax reform. And I sat there and I was like, does anybody really understand what you're trying to do? Other than, I'm just like, just educate people. I know it's not your favorite thing to do.
Just want to give tax breaks to Jared.
The top 1% of the 1%.
What is this thing?
What is that?
This is the loop deck.
Oh, I thought maybe you stole the nuclear codes from from the White House.
War
while you
games
were
all
there.
over again.
This is the loop deck. You can Google them, loop deck, on the Google. And
awesome.
this was, I believe, a Kickstarter campaign to create a Lightroom thing. What are you talking about, Dan?
I don't know.
He's not going to Google it. He doesn't need to Google it.
Yeah.
This is a similar to what Palette made,
I was going to say, it's very similar, except it's more physical controls.
but
it
it's
looks
physical.
Like.
It's not other buttons that magnetize together. So you have all of your different control dials. They're already marked. You have the different colors to do. You can tweak everything. I love the undo button.
And I assume everything is custom function button, too, that you could customize and make whatever you
I
want.
would assume that,
So
yeah.
it allows you to quickly edit and more fine-tune what you're looking to do. It works on Mac. It works on PC. We have it connected to the Microsoft Surface Studio over there. It is pretty cool. What I will say is if you are somebody who likes to tweak and edit like this and really fine-tune, this will work for you. If you're somebody like me who moves around a lot quicker, it takes me some more time to get used to using this. But I think go ahead, Stephen. If I was to use this more often, it's very responsive, by the way.
Interesting how they make this look like a slider, but it's still just a click wheel.
Right, to dial in your color, which
Yeah.
is really cool. I almost made a joke about DC, but I'm not going to do that. So
it's a clickbait wheel.
yeah, it's a clickbait wheel. It's really functional. It's from a company called Loop Deck. You can get it on their website. Not sure how much it costs. And yeah, just wanted to show you that as Gear of the Week because a lot of people, being that we're talking about Lightroom today, this is a good tool
What's
for
it called?
Lightroom. What?
What's it called?
Loop
I already said
Deck.
it, Todd. L-O. I don't think that's an O.
Is that an O or a U? I
think
can't tell.
that's a U.
Okay.
Well, they're from Finland or something.
L-O-U-P-E deck.
Oh, it's
Um,
Loop Deck. I see it.
I think physical controllers are great.
$2.99.
$2.99 for editing, but it obviously takes a lot of getting used to. I mean, I've been used to my mouse and keyboard workflow for
Me too.
that's all I know.
And so what
So
happens
you really
here,
have to be dedicated if you want to switch.
Well, what's great is you can jump to the next image. You can get to the brushes. You can Luminance. Wow,
So
everything
this is
on
made
here.
specifically for photos, or you could use this for video editing as well.
I'm sure you
I
can-
bet you they have an
yeah.
ability
Yeah.
to start doing the fine-tuned color correction for video as well, because you can remap all the buttons any way you want, but it's already mapped the way that it's printed as contrast, clarity,
yeah.
exposure, and so you just
Yeah.
will get familiar where everything is. That's the learning curve. Is you have to learn where everything is first, so that takes time.
Is it quick and responsive?
Oh, it's really responsive.
Okay, that was on the Surface that you used it on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yay.
So there's that. Now, can we see some memes, Todd?
Memes.
You can send them
which
into
we
the,
haven't done in a while.
the
Oh,
greatest. We did them last time, I think.
Oh, it's been like 3.5 weeks.
You
since
can
last
send them
time.
to singwheelofro@gmail.com because that's where memes go. to live.
Singwheeloffro@gmail.com.
And let's see what we have. What's that on the screen?
Well, the
That
first
is
one is from
the
David.
singwheelofro@gmail.com address.
First one is from David Holman. This is the iShoot G-Star Roll shirt.
Wait, let me see that.
That's the iShoot G-Roll.
G-roll.
So,
That won't get me in trouble.
nope, that's fine. That's pretty funny. This one's called the FRO Knows Photo Guide to Breastfeeding,
Oh my.
which I believe that's
Is
a
that-
little Todd that,
that-
you're breastfeeding.
Oh, it's
So,
not Dan's baby?
Dan Jr.
Dan, you might want to get this for Anna. So that's there.
Well, how about maybe I should buy Dan the Keurig of baby formula milk
That's
machine.
Oh,
that's from Felicious Photos. Sent
Thanks,
that into
Felicious
us.
Photos.
Yep. And the last one's from Sanchez. It's called Big Boss Baby Todd. I don't really understand this, but it's Sanchez. So I'm Big Boss.
Oh, and that's me. all
I'm
over
Big
it.
Boss Gluten-Free Todd. You dare challenge me and my fro minions. So that's that. And you can also send your memes in at singwheeloffro@gmail.com.
Hey, Sanchez, why don't you make some Garbage Pail Kids for all of us?
Oh, that would be awesome. There's a documentary that just came out about Garbage Pail
Yeah, I
Kids
saw.
that I haven't seen yet.
I haven't
So
watched it yet.
Those are the memes for the week. That's all I got.
Nice.
And hopefully we'll get more now that we're
Yeah.
back on track with
Yep,
RAWtalk.
Yep.
Well, we're not back on track. We're just on a track.
We're getting there.
We're not sure what track we'll be on.
We're getting there.
Especially after YouTube Live. Maybe we'll go to Facebook Live and then post it later to YouTube. But I don't want to do that. I just wanted to live on YouTube, get all... The point of going live on YouTube is that hopefully the watch time is expanded when you watch it live. Like, hopefully. I know, it's all a game. And I used to read Word Up magazine. Anyway, so
Yep.
is that it?
I think that's it.
Do I do anything else? Did I forget anything else?
Not that I can remember. So maybe.
Dan's got to go?
Yeah,
Dan's
I
gotta
think
go.
Dan's got to go.
What time?
About 5 minutes ago.
It's
Well,
not like he
let's
has a
keep
long-
talking then for a little bit. I've got I've been putting
You know,
videos up on my YouTube
Actually,
channel.
What are you doing today?
I got a YouTube channel I've been putting stuff up on, so you can check that out.
Yeah, you've been updating that way more
a
frequently.
little bit. Yeah. What about you? You've been doing did a photo shoot, right?
Been hanging out. I shot
Yeah.
brand new and Paramore recently.
Nice, man.
Yeah. What else you want to talk about?
I mean,
Waste a little more time.
I've been playing some Destiny 2 lately.
Oh, yeah.
My PlayStation name is iTodd.
Oh, yeah.
ITOD. If you want to play Destiny with me, I probably ignore you, but it's cool.
All right.
We'll end it.
So it's RAWtalk, guys. Episode number 230 as we inch closer to 231. Thank you for watching. Jared Polin, FROKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.
I think we have the GoPro angle again.
Where is it? Where is it? I don't even see it. Oh, it's over there.